So this is just our standard iPhone application for interfacing with our SwarmBot machines. So you can see Papa is the name of this robot. It's a mower, and it's running at the moment here just outside the orchard. So you can see we can see all its basic information down here, its current speed, fuel level, how much of the paddock it's currently complete, as well as the mower's blade RPM. So this machine has a blade RPM set of just under 1200. As it drives through really heavy grass, it actually monitors and maintains this RPM. So it'll continue to spool the pump up and down to ensure that speed is maintained. And if it can't maintain the blade RPM on the mower, it'll actually slow the ground speed of the robot right down to ensure it just maintains the correct blade speed for mowing. So I can go in here and I can actually see a whole heap of information about the robot, any current error codes or events that are active, all of the engine details, engine RPM, voltage, hydraulic temperature, levels, etc. You can see this machine's got about 1700 hours of mowing. And then continuing through, we also have the ability to look at refilling points for fuel and things like that, and also the mower. So as I said before, it's tracking 1190 RPM on those blades, and that's really just the simple interface we have. We've tried to keep it very simple for farmers and people to be able to use and interact with their machine. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to pause the machine up the top here, hit the stop button, and you'll see it comes to a nice stop in the background here. We're going to walk over there and we're going to show you around the machine. But first, I'm just going to hit the engine off button here and confirm I want to turn the engine off, and then we can walk over safely to the machine. So let's go. So it's very important to us our machines operate safely, especially because they're autonomous and there's no operator on board. We have a handful of safety systems on board. So firstly, we have obstacle detection cameras that look out on the ground in front of it, creates a ground plane of what's in front of it, and then determines whether or not there's an obstacle on that ground. So it'll stop for anything in front of it. It also has a safety bumper here, so if it does hit, if obstacle detection ever fails or it fails to detect something, this bumper can be depressed in, and as soon as that pressed, the machine will shut down and go into an e-stop state. We also have e-stops up the front for operators to press. There's also e-stops on the edge of the mower in case of operator decides to hit an emergency stop button. We also have a geofence system, which means the machine actively checks every single point. So it checks here, it checks here, it checks these wheels, and it also checks the edge of the mower all of the time, every time it's driving and moving through the orchard or through any paddock that it's mowing. And the reason we do that is to ensure that if we have a row of trees right here along the ground, if that mower is to move across and get too close to those trees, that it becomes unsafe, it'll actually shut down and report to the operator that it's going to do an unsafe manoeuvre and it needs attention. The reason we do that is to ensure that we are 100% safe and that the machine will never ever hit a tree or any sort of infrastructure around the orchard or any other broadacre farm. So up the top here, again, we have a GPS system for localisation and navigation. This reports the position of the machine, and that's what we use to ensure that it's tracking the right spot and it knows where it is in the orchard. I'll just pop the hood here so you can see how easy these machines are to maintain and how easy they are to build. One thing we've really tried to ensure we've done with the design and the build of these machines is to enable and empower farmers to fix stuff themselves. Nowadays, machinery in ag is getting so big and cumbersome. It's also very difficult to maintain for farmers. So what I'll show you here is we just have a Hatz diesel engine, 75 horsepower engine, diesel motor. We have a controller that looks after all of the low-level controls, so that is our pressure transducers, our wheel encoders, etc. That all comes through here. And then we just have 3 pumps. We have a mower pump. So this pump here, it's a high-flow pump. It controls the speed of the mower. And then we have 2 transmission pumps for the front and rear axle, and we have a steering pump here at the back. As you can see, plenty of access, very easy to get in, change fittings, change pumps, any hoses that blow or need repair, very easy to get to. One thing we've really tried to do is to ensure that we can change any component on this machine within a 45-minute window. We've actually proven that recently with an engine. So we can unbolt this entire engine and put a new one in it within an hour or within 45 minutes. So I think that's a really cool thing to be able to prove that we can do that.